You're listening to the Align to Amplify podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Sarah and Haley.
Welcome to Align to Amplify. I am Sarah Sunshine Garrison, and I am an intuitive business healer. I am here with
Haley Lewis, brand accelerator and executive creative advisor. What am I, Sarah?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, Eli.
It changes daily. Now, why don't we let everyone know who's here with us?
Oh, that's right. Go ahead.
Oh, well, okay.
Do you want to introduce?
You usually introduce, but I don't mind introducing too. So, so today we have our friend, Ely Delaney. As you can see in the background, his hashtag meet cool people, because that's what he does, is he likes to meet cool people. Let's just say it the way it is. You're the coolest person to meet, and it's fun to meet you, and you have all sorts of great automation and tech things to talk about today. So, there's the intro.
So I have a little personal story about Eli. So I came to the party late with Eli. It seemed like everybody knew him except me. And then when I found out that he had this group called Meet Cool People, I was like, oh, I guess I'm not one.
No, but see, we hadn't met yet.
That's true.
It wasn't until later.
That's
then we
true.
actually met.
And then I became a cool people. Yeah.
Yes.
I was invited into the cool people, cool people world. And there was a little bit of, it was kind of a badge of honor. I've got to say that it was kind of like when I got my little bracelet in the mail, and it was kind of, my family's like, what are you getting in the mail, Mom? And I'm like, it's kind of like my little decoder ring. I kept waiting for it. And, we wear it with pride. You wear it with pride.
Yeah. Yep.
So Eli,
got mine on.
There it is.
All the time.
There it is. Tell everybody the two people.
Okay, so first of all, Eli, just so that you can understand this craziness. So we, our very first podcast that we recorded was an epic fail, epic. Everything that went wrong could have gone wrong. So we decided.
They usually are.
We decided to pull out the duct tape and the WD-40 and jerry rig something together. So we're winging it. We're by the seat of our pants. At this point that we're recording this, we do not have an intro set up, whatever. So sometimes I dance.
And I do the little.
Yeah. And we're trying to get this rhythm going in our stuff. So
without sounding scripted or fake, because you know us, we're not.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't know what's going to come out of our own mouth.
Definitely not scripted, that's for sure. No.
We don't even have so Eli was awesome. He was one of our first people. So we have this form, and it will be live by the time this podcast goes live. But we have a form if you want to be a guest to fill out an application. The thing we forgot some things. I realized afterwards, bios and things like that. That'll all go into it. But Eli was the first person to fill it out for us. One of the first people to test it. So we got it, and I got all excited.
Professional.
And the form worked.
Oh, it did.
And so we can even go into that because, we're sitting here with Eli, who made that happen.
And yeah, I'm using Eli's platform. So if that isn't an awesome way to transition to Eli, but the platform he's built is amazing. And the things that he does to teach people how to share their messaging and everything is amazing. So Eli, I'm going to give you the floor and tell everybody what you do. The whole two people that listen to our podcast.
All right. Well, the glowing testimonial of the fact that you're using my CRM system and it works, that's a good thing. I think that's a good sales pitch. It's a good start anyway. So let's see, which part of the story should I tell you? You guys know this, but I am known as an automated follow-up strategist. My other title is the People Whisperer, because I just talk to people. I have amazing conversations with people all over the globe. It's not uncommon for me to have conversations with people on 3 different continents in the same day. And it really is about meeting cool people. I do a lot of stuff in the tech world from an automation standpoint. I was early on in the automation game, way before most people even knew it was possible. I think I had an automated webinar running 24/7 for about 5 years before most people actually realized that you could do an automated webinar. All these people thought it was just really me running these shows back to back all this time. And I wasn't. I was hanging out having mojitos instead. And so reality is, that stuff, I do that stuff because that's, obviously that was what pays the bills. It's a lot of fun, and helping clients do that is cool, but it frees me up to have time to meet cool people, which is my favorite thing in the world to do.
That's awesome. So I just for context, I'll probably be muting our mic while you're talking because before we started, the room next to us, they walked in and they're having a band play. So if you hear music behind us, that's why.
We're in a recording studio,
I'm
but
going to
it's
say
not
you guys
soundproof.
probably are going to be safe because your mics are very close to you and right there. I can't hear anything but you two.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
Okay, great.
Yeah. You guys have good quality mics, so you're good with that. You don't have the stuff that's going to pick up. It's picking up right what's in front of it, nothing else. You're good to go. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I do have a music background, so I do know mics.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's great. So
I didn't mean to sidetrack this. Sorry.
To back up just a little bit for, my two friends that are probably watching this, what is automation? When you say automation, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Okay. Yeah, so automation, it covers a lot of different things, and it's a buzzword in today's business world. Is how do we automate things? And automation is as simple as if somebody opts into your website for your free thing, whatever that is, automation is what has those emails that follow up with it, or text messages that follow up with it. Automation is also a notification going to you saying, hey, by the way, you haven't talked to Haley in a month. You really should probably pick up the phone and call your friend because you're a loser. and that, reality is, let's be honest. I have actually put automations in my own system to remind me to call people on their birthdays because I will forget otherwise. Mm-hmm. Now, there's even cool tools you can use automation to where it will automatically send gifts. Like I've actually done that before, where birthdays come along and people will just get a box of brownies all because it just set it up. The idea is using tools and technologies. There's a lot of different platforms that do a lot of different things, but how can you take a task that you do and let a machine just do it for you? The whole point behind it is not to become lazy, which is what a lot of people think in today's world, but it is to free you up, buy back your time, and give you time to do the things you can't automate, which is building true relationships. This conversation right here cannot really be automated. Mm-hmm. People will try, it will fail. But what we're doing right now, we're having a fun conversation. We're joking back and forth. We're making fun of each other and ourselves and everything. You don't get that from automation. You don't get that from technology. You get that from real human beings interacting. But we live in such a busy world that we have 10,000 things we're supposed to do every day. Well, let's let the tools and the technology take care of a bunch of that stuff. It's all the mindless stuff that we should be doing that we don't want to do, and we're going to forget because we're human beings. We drop the ball. Mm-hmm. Let the technology do those things, and we can do the more important things and the things that can't be automated, like meeting cool people.
I like that. One thing that I do like because I've had my own personal stumbling block with the automation, the building the list. Mm-hmm. You know.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Because I throw so much email away. Like I don't even open it, don't even read it. And what I liked when you're kind of talking me through this is bringing that personalization, that branded voice without it being, robotic and that script, it's scripted, but it's not scripted. It's right. Seriously, it's conversational. That's what I'm looking for. It's conversational, and how you have kind of cracked that code, I guess, for me, when you talked about it, you're slowly chipping away at my force field that's up. When it comes
about ready to pull out the big guns pretty soon. There's a couple of different things that you touched on with that. Number one is that technology is not designed to be a replacement for relationships. And that's where people get hung up. For a long time, people got really hung up and they wouldn't even touch it. Now we're going on that flip side, because with the rise of AI, which, by the way, go to Facebook, look at the post that I did a little bit ago, because I actually had a conversation with an AI salesperson today. And let me tell you, it was creepy as hell.
Wait. I need clarification. So first of all, this probably will be going out like in a month or two. So
okay.
I have questions about this AI salesperson. Was the person selling you AI, or was the AI the salesperson?
Yes.
Was it an artificial intelligent creature selling you something?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
It was a phone call to me.
What?
And I picked it up, and this person started talking to me, but I could tell there's too much of a delay, and the tonality was not quite right, but it was close. And it
was it
changed
interactive?
the subject. It was interactive, yeah.
No way.
And what was funny was when I'm like, so I got a question for you. Are you AI? And it says, oh, do I sound that bad? Well, let me get you that free stuff I was going to get you. We're going to get that out to you right away.
So
Thank you so much.
It didn't answer.
But it did.
But it did.
But
it
do
did.
I sound that bad? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was all sorts of fun.
It's a phone call. It wasn't even like a text
call.
message or an email. Oh my gosh.
Phone call. Okay. Now, so it's here. Like, I mean, literally, if you go look at my post literally says Skynet is here. Okay.
I want to know what, there's so many, what company is doing this? Is this a program? Somebody, there are so many questions that I have around this. Wow.
I've seen stuff about it. I haven't researched it yet because it wasn't something that I was interested in playing with, because I'm still leery of it. I know it's here. I use it in certain areas, but there are certain areas that I'm still not trusting it yet. I mean, I've seen too many of those movies, and I know where it goes. It doesn't go well for the humans. So I have a hard time encouraging it.
It's the beginning of the end.
This one, I stayed on the call because I was really curious how far I could go with it. And so I let it ask me the questions, and I answered the questions, and then it stumbled in a couple of spots. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this. This is right. Now, the whole reason I'm telling you this is because it goes back to something that you said, is that when you have your conversations and with automation and things and emails and all that kind of stuff, you talked about bringing in your personality, your personal brand, stuff like that. What I have found, and this is something that I've said for a long time based on using automation, but it's really like tenfold when it comes to AI, you still need to have heart in it. And that's the piece that's missing. And you talked about, you get so many emails that you just delete. You know, it's funny, for a long time, and it's interesting because this is starting to make a shift back the other direction. But for a long time, especially when texting first came out, people were like, oh, texting is the latest, greatest thing. Email's dead. Email marketing is dead. I'm like, no, it's because your emails suck, dude. You know, plain and simple. You want people to actually pay attention to your communication, which, if you're using email, that's my favorite way. Then you have to write things that are interesting. It's no different than the term influencer. Okay, I have a pet peeve with the term. And Sarah's rolling her eyes. For anybody who's not watching this, that's hearing this, you're seeing Sarah's rolling her eyes because she's heard me say this before. I have a pet peeve with the term influencer. Quit trying to be an influencer. If you're trying to be an influencer, you're doing it wrong. All you should be doing is influencing people to do things that are going to make their lives better. That's it. That's the magic right there. And so your emails, if your emails are not working, it's because you're not writing stuff that gets people excited about having a conversation with you. That means that they don't feel like you actually took the time to write them. I have had people literally open up an email of mine, reply back to it, thank me for the recommendation of the book that I recommended 6 years after I wrote the email, because that's when they happen to get it.
Yeah. Well, it works. I mean, and especially if you pick books that are timeless, you know,
yeah.
you got to pick those, not the latest, greatest
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the kicker is you got to use stuff that's evergreen. The term
Evergreen,
is evergreen with it. Everything you write should be evergreen, meaning if I give it to you today, it's valuable. If you see it 10 years from now, it's still valuable.
Yep.
And all of this is designed to add value, have a conversation. By the way, great email. Hey, how's it going? Just want to check in on you. That's it. Nothing else.
Just opens
If
that
you
door.
got that email from somebody, would you open it and be like, wow, that's cool, and reply back to them?
Probably, as long as it didn't look like a,
If
you
it
know,
looked like you wrote it to me.
yeah, it can't
that's
look
the
like a
thing.
newsletter. Like I've seen
Yeah.
some people that do that,
Oh.
but it has like the header across the top and it has the thing on the bottom, and I'm like,
Right.
you just send that out to your entire list. Like, how
Yeah.
is that? Like, this doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to respond.
And the thing with that is you're never lying about it. Okay. That's really important for people to understand. Never lie about it. Yes, you might be using an automated system. You should be using an automated system that goes out to everybody. But the feel of the entire thing should feel like you just opened up Gmail, typed in their email address, and just started going to town. Even though you're going to have a little unsubscribe thing at the bottom, because you should. It's legally. You have to, by the way.
Yep.
But it's just plain and simple. So I have a script that I give to people all the time. I'm like, if you've got a list and you have not been staying in touch with them, you need to send this email and see what happens. And I'll give it to your audience right now. It's real simple. Subject line: I'm such a slacker. By the way, you're having some fun. Throw yourself under the bus. Okay. Then you go in and you say, I am such a slacker. I have not stayed in touch with you the way I should have. And I know that I've done the wrong things, but I've promised myself that I'm going to do better this year. And I want to start with you. How you doing? What have you been up to? I would love to hear about it. And then you sign it. You send it out.
I like that.
You just kind of gave me goosebumps. I seriously kind of
So-
just got the goosebumps.
You see how simple that is?
It
There's
is.
nothing complex about it.
And people want
That
to
email.
respond.
Yeah. So I had a gal that she sent this email. Now we actually did a whole campaign. So there were 2 other emails that were designed to follow up with that. She sends this out on Monday. Tuesday morning, I get an email from her. Eli, how do we stop the campaign? I don't want the other emails going out. I'm like, uh-oh, crap, what happened? So I'm picking up the phone and calling her. What's wrong? What happened? She goes, everybody replied.
The whole
What
list.
do you mean? What do you mean everybody replied? She goes, everybody replied. She was booked solid for the rest of the month.
Oh my gosh.
And she did over $12,000 in sales by that Friday because of that one email that I
Wow.
just gave you.
Okay, I need to do that. I have had that listed. I have that email because I've taken many courses from Eli, you know. I have that email typed out because of one of the classes that I sat through with him that he taught, not with him, that he taught. And I've been sitting on it. I'm like, oh, I'll do it eventually. Oh, I'll do it eventually.
You're such a slacker, Sarah.
I'm such a slacker. Oh my gosh. And the title would be fitting because I am. I've had that for, gosh, when was your workshop? Like how many months?
Which one?
I don't know.
Kinda back
I've
in
done
March.
hundreds of them.
March?
I haven't done
while
It was a
workshop.
while
Oh, wow.
ago. I know. I don't.
Oh, that was, you're talking about the last ADD workshop, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was
a long time ago.
January.
Oh my gosh, I've
Yeah,
been sitting on
would've
that for
been-
8 months.
The 8
You
months,
are a
something like
slacker.
I am a
Oh my gosh,
slacker.
and now it's so
that.
true and it's
that
so
was 7
authentic.
or 8 months ago.
Send it.
Yeah.
It's
But
so
that's the thing, is it's such a simple thing, and things like that work really well. And you notice one of the most empowering things about that, there's something missing. Do you know what that is?
you don't say anything about yourself. You don't necessarily try to sell them anything. You just want to learn about them.
Exactly. You're not pitching anything.
Yeah.
You're just
All you're
reaching
doing
out
is
and touching.
checking in with them and eliciting a response. This is a big thing with this stuff. All your communication needs to have a call to action. The problem is that people in the marketing world teach it as you have to pitch something all the time. Call to action. If you ever hear the term call to action or CTA, that means you get them to do something. Most people interpret that as go buy my shit. That's not what we're going for.
Yeah.
That could be just reply to this email. How's it going? Or go check out this book.
Yeah.
I love
You
it.
do that, all of a sudden it's like You come from a place of service, of adding value, and a place as a friend. That's how you get your emails open. That's how you get your text messages read. That's how you get people to pay attention to the messages you send them in social media.
Yeah.
Talk to them like they're a friend.
You know, earlier today in a networking event that I was doing, we were talking about what it was like to network with people in different areas and things like that. And, you know, I'm telling the secret sauce for our area, which Eli has heard me say a million times over. But the thing really comes down to is, you know, here locally, people won't do business with you if they don't know you. And you got to get to know them. And just trying to pitch your stuff all the time won't get you that conversation, won't get you that getting to know you. So, like you said, having that simple, like, hey, I just want to know what you're up to. People love to talk about themselves. They love to.
Of course.
So let them tell you what's up. Let them reach out to you because, you know, it obviously for that client that you were referring to, it does end up in sales, but it's because you got to know that person. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too, is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. So I'm talking about this in a format of email because that's my preferred medium. I love email. It's so powerful. And the cool thing is it's your list. You know, if you're on Facebook building a group and Facebook decides they don't like you anymore, boom, you're done. Same thing with LinkedIn, same thing with any platform. I'm not picking on Facebook specifically. It's any platform that's somebody else's. But if it's your list, you own that. You have control of that. So you can communicate how often you want to, how you want to, and it's not going to get taken away from you. So the cool thing about that is if you can build that and use the other tools to bring them in, now you're building relationships. I have people who have come back to me over a decade later asking me on if I could help them with things. I mean, it's that powerful. And I just put a video out today about hunting versus farming. And, you know, in the business world, I talk about the hunting versus farming mentality of the hunter is going out for the kill. That's the sales guy that's like, I got to get a sale today. I got to get a sale today. You know, a lot of people I work with are speakers. So it's like they get on stage to sell their product and that they're looking for how many sales they can make at the back of room. The kicker is that that's only part of the game. The farming side is how do you build that relationship and let them know you've got value and you keep staying in touch with them. So if they're not ready to buy today, when they are ready to buy, you're in front of them. And they always think about you. I mean, I had somebody back in my web design days, which was forever ago. We're talking probably 20 plus years ago. This gal that I knew from a local chamber comes to me one day and she goes, hey, I want to have you come over to the office for a little bit. I want to talk to you about doing a website. Can you come over after the meeting? I was like, yeah, sure. So I go over to her office. Her and her husband sit down with me. We talk about building a website and everything. We get to the end. And so I talk, price and all the stuff. And I was like, so what's different? Why now? She's like, well, we're part of this franchise, but they're doing some things we're probably going to break apart from them. So we're going to have to take care of that. I was like, okay, so why me? She goes, because I've known you for over 10 years. And every time somebody asks you a question, you have an answer quickly and you help them out, even when it's not what you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool place to be. It's like, and you come from that in your business. It's like, hey, you know what? Here's a cool tip, or here's a cool piece of software that I use, or here's somebody you should meet. That's really cool. That's one of the reasons why I like Meet Cool People, because if I can meet cool people, I can share them with other cool people. And now people remember me for that. And I have a reputation, sometimes a little jaded, but for the most part, I have a reputation for being somebody that people can trust and people that can come to me, and I'll help them any way that I can. And that's a reputation I've built by adding value. That's where all of this comes in. We're just using tools and technology to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right. I like the whole idea of being approachable it sounded like you had built that reputation of not only do you have the answers, but I feel comfortable enough to ask you. I mean, you know my big blocks with that kind of automation and stuff, and I've been able to have conversations with you that I would never have uttered, a word about with anybody else, because it is a big block for me. And you're chipping away. You are chipping away at that. But I don't feel threatened by it at all when I'm talking to you about it.
And that's important, because I don't want anybody to ever feel threatened or pressured into anything. It's like, and that's one thing too. If you're in sales, for everybody listening here, if you're in sales, which we're all in sales, by the way, every one of us is in sales of some sort. I mean, I used to joke about the fact my dogs were in sales because he convinced me to stop working and go throw the ball for him. But we're all in sales, okay? But that doesn't mean we have to be that stereotypical pushy salesperson. We see that in the movies and things like that, and it gives people a bad rap. The reality is, our job should just be to guide somebody in the right direction for something that's going to empower them, or give them solve a problem that they have, or enhance their life. Give them the guidance and let them make the choice. When they're ready, they will come to you.
Yeah.
And when you come from that place, two things happen. Number one, people trust you more. The walls come down very easy. But the other thing that happens with that is that they feel less threatened, and you look less desperate. Which a lot of people don't realize how desperate they look. We've all been to networking events, and there's like, okay, that guy's eating dot ramen tonight. Okay.
Oh, you can tell.
You can tell.
You can smell it on them.
Smell it. You can, not that you can smell the ramen, but no, it's oozing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to, all of us, no matter what kind of business we have, where we're from, we need to get away from that feeling and that attitude, because nobody likes that. You don't like being in that place, and they don't like listening to you be in that place. It creeps people out when somebody's the swarmy salesperson.
Yeah. But when you think about anytime you've been in the purchasing position, like you're seeking the service.
Right.
And when you know that it's your decision, it's not being forced on you anymore. You're now ready. You're seeking it out, and you've already, the farmer aspect of it. You planted the seed, you tilled the ground, you weeded it, you watered it, you paid attention to it. Everything about it. You got the bugs off of them, whatever.
And
we're still a little buggy, but yeah.
But then that purchasing decision comes, and now that, like for me, it would be, I'm making this decision. I'm in control of this, and it's my decision. Yeah. And you're owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there's two sides to this that are pretty cool. You just said one side. So from the client perspective, you are owning the decision. Okay. That's hard for a lot of people, because they have self-doubt in their heads. So it's not that they don't trust you. They don't trust themselves most of the time. That's where that really comes in. So if you are, like, this is you being the consumer in this situation, you make that decision. Now you've owned it. You have accountability for it. That's a big step for a lot of people. Okay. But then the other side to it is, I'm not selling it to you. I'm here. I have a solution. If you want the solution, come and get it. I'm here for you. And it's going to be great. But I'm not selling it to you. I'm giving you the opportunity to buy it. See how the language is different.
You're flipping that script, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing about doing this, when you look at it like this and you have these kind of conversations, it puts everybody at ease, because you're not pushing the sale. That's an intense negative thing. That causes high anxiety. High anxiety causes sweat and freaking out, and the energy is it's a bad energy. Okay. So the other side automatically is going to pull back. Here's a cool thing. So, and I love, this is like one of my newest clients that's just come on board. I met her at a virtual networking event, just casual conversation kind of stuff. She reaches out to me. It's like because he always gives like, here's how you can book a call on my calendar. Let's chat, blah, blah, blah. She reaches out to me. She's like, I would love to chat with you. I was like, okay, cool. Here's my link. She gets on the call with me and we're just talking. I honestly did not expect anything other than a virtual coffee. Okay. That's what I expected. And she starts asking questions and she was like, so what exactly is it that you actually sell? So I kind of explained it to her. Okay, that sounds cool. How does that work? So I explained how the deliverables are done. She's like, okay, and how much do you charge for that? And so I told her how it worked. And she was like, when I met you, I just felt like I really needed to talk to you and I needed to work with you. And give me a second. And she's like looking on the computer, checking out some stuff. She's like, I got some PayPal credit. I want to do this.
Oh, wow.
And right there.
She enrolled.
That's awesome.
I honestly, I truly did not expect that in any way, shape, or form. I came from a place of just having a cool conversation. But when you put off that energy, people come to you and they feel comfortable with you. I had somebody literally like, was it this week or late last week? I don't remember which. It was within the last 7 days that she was like, you just have a real easy, peaceful energy to you. I just feel comfortable talking to you. I really love to work with you sometime. I'm like, okay, whenever you're ready, let's book a call on my calendar. I'll show you how it works. And yeah, she'll book on my calendar. I have no problem.
That's awesome.
I love that. So tell us, basically, I mean, what did you sell her? Because like, here's your opportunity to let all these people know, all these two people know.
There's going to be more than two people.
Oh, there's going to be lots more than two people.
And so here's the thing. The cool thing about a good show, if you do it right, a good show can start, and then when you launch it, you might only have two people, or one person and a cat. But generally speaking, just a couple of people will listen right at first, but then you do more shows and somebody will come in 10, 15 shows down the road and they're like, this is really good stuff. And then what they're going to do is they're going to download all of them. They're going to binge them from the beginning. Okay. So just so you know, I'm prefacing this to you guys as putting it out there. I had a show, it's probably about 9 years ago that I was a guest on his show. And it was still fairly early on. He'd done maybe 30 episodes of his show, which really wasn't very many considering how many he's got now. He's still doing the show. And he has me come on as guest. And he had a pretty good following already because he had made a name for himself. And I started getting clients out of it. Like right away, people were calling me and booking calls with me because they heard me on the show. I still got calls and booked calls for people wanting to work with me 3 years after that show aired.
That's awesome.
Because people heard he had great guests and they liked the guests, so they start backing up and binge listening to all of them. And next thing you know, so that's what I love about podcasts in general, is because even if you're just starting off, you get it going, you get it taken off, people will come back and listen in the beginning.
I can hardly wait for the day when we can look back and go, hey, let's pull up one of our cringy first podcasts. Let's do that,
And poor Eli gets to be like one of our first guests on this, as we're like stumbling over ourselves. And he's professional. Like, you have the cool background, you look professional, you're like on point, and we're like, blah, 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 blah. We can't even say the words right.
I mentioned this to you guys before we started recording. I'll say it here too, because it's a lot of fun just to share this with everybody. And I want this to be a lesson for everybody. If you want to do something, you want to do a podcast yourself, you have to start. And it's going to be goofy, and you're going to make mistakes, and things are going to happen. I have probably helped, I would guess, no less than 50 people with their podcasts when they got started. A lot of times people were like, oh, but they're just starting out. I don't want to be a guest. No, screw that. No, get out there. get on the show, help them out. It's going to help you out because guess what? If you're sharing good, valuable stuff, you need to practice how to say it better all the time. And you cannot practice well by yourself. Your dog's only going to give you so much feedback. Trust me, I tried that one. You just looked at me like I was nuts every single time. Okay. And the cool thing is you guys kind of give me the same look as that I'm nuts now. So it's all good. I've just made me more comfortable with it. But the reality is you start somewhere, you have fun with it, you get it going, and it's going to get better, going to get better, going to get better. And over time, you will have those times. And that's why I love podcasts, because people come back. It's the only platform. Podcasts and TV are the only two platforms in the world where people will go back and listen to reruns.
Okay? Oh, yeah.
And they do. I mean, we're still watching. I mean, I go back and I watch like old Battlestar Galactica from the 70s.
Oh my gosh, but that's so good.
Oh, it is so good. Yeah, it's totally awesome. Way worth it. But podcast is one of those things. If I get hooked on somebody's podcast, I'll listen to a couple episodes to make sure they're congruent and there's not just a fluke that they had a good show. But then I'll go back and I'll just binge download them, and I'll download a whole bunch of them and just listen to them back to back. People will do that with these shows.
Well, hopefully.
And so that's the fun thing. You guys are just the beginning of this journey. That the more you do it, the more you stay consistent with it, the more you keep having cool conversations with fun people, you're going to make this take off.
Oh, look at him. He's so excited for us.
I love that. I love that. I'm excited for us now.
You're just such a good pep talker. Oh, my word. And his enthusiasm when he was talking about it, it made me feel really good. So thank you.
And this is why everybody needs to get to know you. You need to meet more cool people. So how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, it's real super simple. Go to connectwithely.com. And Ely is E-L-Y, okay? Because most people spell it with an I. It's ELY.com. I even changed it, so if you're watching the video right above my head, it now says connect with Ely.
You're such a pro.
He's so professional at this. We just have our light things
fake
that fall
it really
over.
Well. So yeah, go to connectwithely.com. You can find all my social media links. You can find my website. There's even some free stuff you can download. And if you liked this conversation, this is my favorite thing to do. Whether you can book a call on there, so feel free to do so. Book a call. Let's have a chat. It's not a sales pitch. It is a conversation. It's called a quick chat for a reason, so we can just chat, get to know each other. If in the conversation you feel like you want to hear more about what I do and how I help people, cool, we'll have the conversation. If not, whatever, I don't care. We're gonna have fun. But from that, if you go to any social media site, whatever platform you want to use, because I'm on most of them, not on TikTok because that's silly, but everything else I'm on, and you can connect with me. But here's the thing: don't just friend request or connect on LinkedIn or whatever. Click the little button, and then click send message. Send a message to me. Hey, I heard you on the show with Haley and Sarah. This is what I liked. I would love to chat with you. Let me know where you heard from me. And if you got value out of this conversation, please share that. Let me know, because that's what makes my life spin. And I guarantee you will go to the top of the list. I got probably 15 people that are on friend request waits right now. The ones that send me a message always get taken care of within 48 hours.
And the ones that message you with our names, Sarah and Haley. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'll be like, how do they know them? And we'll make sure it's in the show notes too, so that people can connect with you and all that fun stuff. So
awesome.
Absolutely. We need to talk again because you are a wealth of information, and I think we just barely scratched the surface.
Well, AI has been a hot topic today. This is like the third conversation about AI that we've had. And so I think that might be another good one to delve into. And I feel like you're kind of more on the skeptic side, which would be a lot of fun to have a more in-depth conversation on that.
Yeah, if you want to have a debate on the good and the bad of AI, I tend to lean towards the Google shall rule us very easily. Yeah,
the Skynet overlords.
Time to bend the knee.
Yeah, definitely the overlords. I mean, it's like, the more stuff I see popping out, the more I start saying, "Oh, the Matrix in real life."
Exactly.
So yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I generally stay away from those kind of conversations because I'm not as big of a fan. Everybody else is on board with it. I think that there's a use for it. I'm not saying get rid of it. It's not completely bad. I'm all for things that help make life better, but there's always a trade-off. And when you lose heart, that's the trade-off. And that's the part that I fear, because I don't care how great the technology is. I don't care if I have somebody walking up to me that's an AI bot that wants to have a conversation with me. I might play along because it'll sound like fun, but I will lose interest very easily if there's no heart in the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm always looking for.
Yep.
And that's our secret weapon, the heart.
The heart.
Exactly.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yep. Well, thank you, Ely, so much. And yes, we will have you on again. And I know the conversations are just going to get better.
Oh, yes.
They really are.
Yeah, we're going to dive deeper. Once they've been on once, I think we'll bring them on again. Okay, now it's time to get into the dirt.
Yes. So please connect with Ely.
Yes.
And I'm Haley, Brand Accelerator. And
I am Sarah Garrison, intuitive business, whatever.
healer.
I'm a healer. I do intuitive work. I work with your business. I help heal your business. That's what I do.
And we help you align to amplify.
Yes. I align. She amplifies.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
again.
us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.